Fame, friends, love, happiness, and life. Are these really things you can't buy no matter how much money you have? Sure, everyone's ideas of happiness, love, and friendship varies from person to person, but if you're not too picky, it turns out that a lot of that stuff you were told was unattainable can be bought. These are things money can buy. A celebrity friend. Wish you had a friend who was a famous Hollywood A-lister? Not a problem. Famous actors and singers can actually be booked for gigs as long as you have at least a few extra $100,000 sitting around. Bruno Mars, Morgan Freeman, and Tiger Woods can all be rented for anywhere from a couple $100,000 to over $1 million per appearance. Okay, so this doesn't make them your actual friend or anywhere near it. However, $250,000 for a couple of hours with Jerry Seinfeld does give you the opportunity to interact with the legendary comic. And if you play it cool, you could end up friends. A missile silo. Ever wanted to live like a Bond villain or pretend you were a secret agent? Maybe you just wanted to own a rare ex-government top security property. If you have anywhere from $300,000 to $1.5 million, you can tell your friends you own your very own underground military facility meant to withstand a nuclear war. Thanks to the end of the Cold War in the 90s, many unused government missile and communications buildings have become available for purchase. Of course, decorating the steel and concrete interiors may require some creative thinking, but when you do eventually invite your friends over to your very own missile silo, it'll all be worth it. The ability to fly. Humans can't naturally fly, and most of us require the use of planes to get through the air. What about a jetpack, you may ask? Sure, these can be had for a lot of money. Most only allow you to hover around for 30 seconds or less. Sustained flight in something smaller than a plane that was meant for just you was something of a dream until just recently. New Zealand company Martin is introducing a personal jetpack that is the size of a large recliner. For just $150,000, you can now fly for over 30 minutes at speeds of over 70 kilometers per hour at up to a 1,000-meter altitude. Superhuman ability. Okay, so we're not talking about Spider-Man-like abilities here. That said, how would you like to run a lot faster and be able to jump over objects in a single bound? For upwards of $2,000, these powers can become yours thanks to Power Skips. Looking similar to the prosthetic limbs worn by amputee athletes, the German-built Power Skip is a titanium leg attachment that uses gas cylinders. Users definitely get a superhuman boost to their speed and jumping abilities when using these things. Mile High membership. Money might not be able to buy love, but it sure can buy you a place to perform the act of love. No, we're not talking about prostitution, but companies that, for a fee, will take you and a significant other up in a plane and get certified for your very own Mile High membership. Often advertised as romantic sightseeing flights, we bet no one is looking out the windows. Membership isn't cheap, and even low-end flights start at around $800 for under an hour. Your own battle mech. If you grew up in the 90s and were into sci-fi, odds are you knew about Battletech, a sci-fi world where people fought it out using giant robot-like machines called battle mechs, or mechs for short. Spawning a series of board and video games, as well as an animated series, kids everywhere dreamed of climbing into a giant mech and taking on evil. Today, if you have a spare $1.3 million sitting around, you can climb into a fully operational, life-sized mech built in Japan. It doesn't come with guns or missiles, but everything else is true to form with this 4-ton robot, as we guarantee a little happiness comes with fulfilling a childhood fantasy. Uranium. If you want something with a little more bang than a tank, or maybe you're looking to get your own mutant superpowers, then how about some uranium? Apparently, anyone can just go online and buy uranium ore from online science supply sites. We're guessing the ore is not high grade, and you'd probably have to buy a lot of it before you have even enough to start thinking about building your own bomb. Nonetheless, if radioactivity is your thing, along with UN sanctions and a possible raid by the FBI, then go right ahead. Fame and popularity. Want to be famous but don't want to go the sex tape route? Have no fear. A regular 21-year-old New Yorker showed that with a little money you can have all the attention and popularity of a Hollywood A-lister, at least for a little while. Brett Cohen hired 2 bodyguards, some cameramen, and photographers to follow him around New York. In no time, girls were swarming and people were getting pictures taken with him. Some even mentioned they like his music or thought he was a good actor. It just goes to show that spending money on an entourage and some hired cameramen translates into instant fame. Youth. Youth and even immortality is something most deem unattainable no matter how much money you have. Gene therapy, the process of treating people by working with genes, is a new practice where treatments can start at around $1 million. Combine this with the fact that researchers have discovered the aging gene and have been able to manipulate aging in laboratory mice, and we have a recipe for extending human life. Sure, it might be playing God, but for those with money, the ability to slow the aging process has just become a very real possibility. Love. The famous Beatles song said it best: "Can't buy me love." But many wealthy middle-aged men may disagree. With enough money, you can now be a sugar daddy, thanks to many online sugar daddy matchmaking websites. These controversial sites allow men to offer gifts, trips, expensive outings, and other lavish presents in return for a date with women looking for love. The catch? Men aren't allowed to offer money as a gift, as this would be considered an escort service. In the end, it's obvious what both parties are looking for in return, but hey, who are we to judge, right? If you could afford it, would you buy any of these extravagant things? Or what other expensive things would you like to own someday? We'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more fun videos like this one. Thanks for watching!